The first time they found the body, the town pretended not to notice. It lay at the edge of Blackwood Creek, half hidden by cattails, like the land itself was ashamed to be seen with it. Sirens came late. Questions came slower. And answers never came at all. In towns like Briar's Hollow, silence isn't just a habit. It's a survival skill. My name is Jonah Reed, and in Briar's Hollow, I was invisible. I fixed engines at my uncle's garage, kept my head down, and learned early that the powerful didn't need to shout. Their whispers were enough. Everyone knew who ran the town. Everyone knew whose money built the courthouse, funded the police cruisers, paid for the mayor's campaigns. And everyone knew who did it, but no one dared say his name. They called him Mr. Calder in public. Victor Calder, land developer, philanthropist, the man whose photo hung in the high school hallway next to plaques about community, leadership. When people spoke about him, their voices softened, like they were afraid the walls might hear. The boy in the creek was named Eli Moreno. He was 17. He worked odd jobs. He asked too many questions. The kind of kid who believed the truth mattered more than who you were connected to. Eli was my friend. The sheriff ruled it an accident. Before the water on Eli's clothes had even dried, slipped, fell, tragic, case closed. The town nodded along, grateful for the simplicity. Grateful they didn't have to choose between what they knew and what it might cost them to say it out loud. But I couldn't nod. I couldn't swallow it. Because the night Eli died, he came to the garage shaking, eyes bright with fear and something else, hope. I found something, he told me, about Calder, about the land deals near the creek. It's bad, Jonah, really bad. He never told me what it was. By morning, he was dead. I tried to go to the police. The deputy barely looked up from his desk. He told me to go home, to stop stirring trouble, to remember my place. That was the first time I realized how small I really was. Calder's name never appeared in reports, but it was everywhere, on signs, on buildings, in the way people avoided my eyes at the diner. The message was clear. Some truths were too expensive. Days passed. Then weeks. The town moved on, except Calder didn't. He came to the garage one afternoon in a black SUV that gleamed like a threat. He smiled at me like we were old friends, told me how sorry he was about Eli, how dangerous curiosity could be for young men without guidance. He slid a business card across the counter. Heavy with meaning. Focus on your work, he said softly. And you'll do just fine here. It wasn't advice. It was a warning. That night, my uncle told me to let it go. He'd lived in Briar's Hollow long enough to know how stories like this ended. Broken men, lost jobs, accidents that weren't accidents at all. But Eli's voice wouldn't leave my head. Neither would the look on Calder's face, the calm certainty of a man who had never faced consequences. So I started digging. I searched public records at the library after hours. Old zoning approvals, environmental reports that vanished mid-process, land sold cheap then flipped for millions after unexpected rezonings, the creek, Calder's developments, and then I found it. A sealed complaint filed by a surveyor who'd gone missing 5 years earlier. Everyone knew who did it, but now I had paper. I sent copies to a journalist in the city, anonymous, careful, or so I thought. The power shift came fast and brutal. My uncle's garage failed inspection the next day. Code violations that hadn't existed for 20 years suddenly mattered. My bank account was frozen pending an investigation. Started noticing the same truck outside my apartment at night. Calder didn't have to touch me. The system moved for him. Then, just as quickly, something changed. The journalist called back. Excited, scared. She told me the documents matched other cases. Other towns, other bodies explained away. Calder wasn't just powerful, he was careless now. Too used to winning. The story broke on a Tuesday morning. Headlines didn't use his name at first, but everyone knew. By noon, state investigators arrived. By evening, Calder's photo was gone from the high school wall. The town watched in stunned silence as the untouchable was finally touched. They found contamination at the creek, illegal. Dumping, bribes, payoffs, and then, buried deep in a locked pile, Eli's name appeared again, not as a victim of an accident, but as a witness. Justice didn't roar into Briar's Hollow. It crept, quiet, relentless. Calder was arrested at dawn. No cameras, no speeches, just handcuffs and a man who suddenly looked very small. People congratulated me in whispers, called me brave when no one else was around. The same people who'd looked away before. And for a moment, it felt like justice had been served. But here's the thing about towns like Briar's Hollow: power never disappears. It just changes shape. The night after Calder's arrest, I found my door unlocked. My files gone, and on the kitchen table, a single photograph. Eli, standing by the creek, smiling. On the back, 3 words written in careful ink. This isn't over, because everyone knew who did it. But now someone else wanted to make sure I paid the price for saying his name. The photograph stayed on my table all night, face down, like it could watch me even when I wasn't looking. I didn't sleep. Every creak in the apartment sounded like a confession. Every passing car felt like a warning. Calder was in custody, but the message was clear. The power that protected him hadn't been arrested with him. By morning, the town had changed its tone. The same neighbors who once avoided. My eyes now offered tight, smiles and hurried encouragements. They said things like, "You did the right thing," and "about time." Someone stood up, but they said it quickly, like they... The pattern was undeniable now. The irony was sharp. The truth was finally loud enough to be heard. Because Calder had lost control of the noise. The arrest warrants came down like rain. A councilman, a developer, a deputy. The sheriff resigned before they could take him. Briar's Hollow held its breath and then exhaled something like relief. I testified behind a screen. My voice didn't shake. I talked about Eli, about the creek, about the way silence had felt heavier than guilt. I didn't look for the faces on the other side. I didn't need to. The verdicts followed months later. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Calder took a plea. He never looked at me. Justice, when it finally arrived, didn't feel triumphant. It felt tired. It felt overdue. People said my name out loud now, in newspapers, on signs taped to windows, thanking the whistleblower. The irony wasn't lost on me. They loved the story of courage once it was safe to love it. I tried to move on. I took a job in the city. I helped the journalists verify tips from other towns. I learned how to sleep again. Almost. Then one evening, a package arrived with no return address. Inside was a ledger, old and thick. The pages filled with careful handwriting, names, dates, payments. At the back, a recent entry written in a hand I recognized from the photograph. 3 words circled twice. Not Calder's name, mine. Because everyone knew who did it, but no one had said who was next.